Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't seen the first video, make sure you go check it out. It's pretty good information. So before we get into this video today, I just want to give you like a background of myself, because I didn't do it in the first video and I felt like I probably left you guys like kind of like, huh? So basically, I want to bring you guys along with this journey of mine. I wanted to get bariatric surgery done for probably about a few years now. And the reason for it was because my weight was getting out of control. I was having issues with high blood pressure. I was pre-diabetic, and A1C, HLC, or whatever, all them acronyms that I'm not in the medical field that can remember all of them. All of them was going out of whack. So I decided to get bariatric surgery. So as I said in the first video, thank you for coming to my channel. I am Rose, if you haven't seen already. And I just wanted to take you along this journey with me. So you guys, if you haven't seen my first video, make sure you go back to it, rewatch it, like it, comment, also subscribe. That was the pre-acceptance of actually getting into the program for bariatric surgery. Today, in this video, I want to talk about the actual steps of what you have to do to actually be approved for the surgery. Because yes, you can go see a doctor, the bariatric surgeon, but if you don't meet the certain requirements, you're not going to get approved for it. So they had me to do a lot of things over the course of about a year. It took about a year for them, for the insurance to actually be like, okay, we approve you for the surgery, you can get the surgery. So the first thing that they made me do was to give them 6 months of consecutive weigh-in. So every month around the same time, I went into my doctor, my family doctor, and I used their scale. Now, if you go to your family doctor and they try to charge you, then you didn't ask for something right, or either you made a doctor appointment and didn't notice, or said it wrong. But basically what you're doing is you actually going into the doctor's office and letting them know, hey, I want to use your scale so that you can record, so that an actual doctor office can record my weight. So every month, went in, used their scale, they printed out the actual sheet showing that I actually weighed in, and they sent it off. Sometimes it got sent off correctly and sometimes it didn't. So majority of the time I was like, let me get a printout of it and I will keep it for my reference. Make sure you keep all the documents, like every document. Like this is not even all of my documents, maybe 50% of it, maybe, but it was a lot of documents and paperwork that was given to me. So as far as the weigh-in, sometimes they sent it, sometimes they didn't, or maybe they just didn't see it. But make sure you keep every document of when you go get your weigh-in. Me personally, they gave me 6 months to do it, but I would suggest you just keep doing it until you actually get approved for it, because they're gonna ask for extra, like, years prior of weights. So I had to go back to my same doctor and like, hey, I need like some more weigh-ins of them showing how much I weighed. So I had to go back to 2021 and 2020, and I think I pulled one from 2019. So that was kind of like the first stages. And then also, while I was actually doing the weigh-in every month, they also required me to join group meetings. Basically, that's what they was. There was group meetings with a bunch of people. You had people that was about to be scheduled for surgery, or you had people that had already had the surgery and probably like 1 week or 2 weeks out. And then you had some people that were just starting, like me, you know, just actually hearing people talk, and they went down of like what can happen or what will happen or what's a possibility of this, and just different symptoms that you have, and then the benefits of it. So it's just the meeting, it's like a support group meeting. So the meeting just basically gave you like a high level of everything that will go right, could go wrong, or maybe not go wrong, whatever you want to call it. So along with the actual weigh-ins and the actual going to group meetings, I had three 3 or 4 that I had to attend prior to surgery. And then you have to join me after surgery too. This is what the Bariatric Surgery Center required. Also, during this time of actually getting to get the insurance to approve everything, I had to go through a mental evaluation, which it kind of made me nervous. I don't know why, because when you think of a mental evaluation, you think of like, oh man, could I be crazy? Like, like I thought of a mental evaluation like just totally wrong, and I thought the worst of everything. Don't think like me. I totally psyched myself the wrong way. It was so wrong. But basically, the mental evaluation is just to actually see where you at in your physical health, mental health. And some people, you have your ups and your downs. Like I said in my last video, you have your ups and your downs with mental health, and especially with people that are 200 plus. Well, I wouldn't say 200 plus, maybe 250 plus. The heavier you are, you go through a lot of mental things. And if you're watching this and you know what I'm saying, then you get it. You get it that sometimes you love your weight, you love the skin you in, and sometimes you just be at your lowest and you be like, damn, like, how can I get this off of me? It's like it's killing me, it's like a toss. Sometimes you love the weight, sometimes you hate your weight. So it's one of the things that being overweight is like a love-hate type relationship. So as far as your mental evaluation, I went in, talked to one doctor, and had me memorize something. Let me tell you like this. My memory, short-term memory, has gone in the wind. Like, if this is not something that's serious, like my short-term, you could tell me that a dog crossed the road this morning, and by noon, I forgot what you told me. It's not an issue, maybe, sort of, kind of, but it's just, who cares about a dog walking across the road? Some stuff I retain, some stuff I don't, but he gave me like a few things to remember, and also while I had to remember those few things, I also had to answer some other stuff. And then we came back to ask me what was the few things that he told me to remember. I think I got probably like 2 out of the 4 or maybe 2 out of 3. I don't know what it was, but I was like, damn, what the fuck? I was like, oh my gosh, wait, I can't remember nothing. And so after that, they sent me in a room where I had to take like a computer test, and some of the questions was very repetitive. Well, they was repetitive, and some of them was the same that they asked twice, and some of them was similar but they reworded it. So it's basically on a scale level of whether you experience it or you haven't experienced it. So I'm just clicking through this. I'm like, yep, nope, not me. Yep, nope. And at that time, I was in a good mood. You had, like you said, you had your good days, you had your bad days, and at that day, I was in a good mood. And so, it wasn't one of my bad days where I was like, yeah, I'm feeling kind of depressed. It wasn't one of those days. So it's kind of like they didn't believe me. I guess I can say that. But I was like, yeah, I should have answered those. I should have did like a review of my whole life of being overweight and actually graded it to that scale instead of just what I was feeling in that moment. So if you have to go through this, if you have to do the mental evaluation and go through the same thing what I did, where you have to do it on the computer, then make sure you take your time. Because me, I was just clicking through it. I'm like, yep. Make sure you sit there and take your time and evaluate the whole span of you being overweight. Actually take all that into consideration, unlike what I did. Okay. Also, so the mental evaluation, after I did the computer test, which was 2 different ones. It was 2 different tests. And one of them was longer than the other one. So they was pretty much the same, actual same thing. But after I took the test, I went in to see the doctor, and they talked to me and asked me more questions. And after that, they sent me on my way. And then later on down the road, after they reviewed my quizzes, the quizzes score, then they called me back in and we talked some more and all that. And he was kind of hesitant to make it seem like I really needed bariatric surgery. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, would this be a standstill for me? So, but it wasn't. So, thank you. So, the sleep study was done in Prattville, Alabama. It was at Prattville Baptist Center. And I had to do 2 different sessions. The first session was, it was, of course I didn't like it, but it was okay. And me being a person is, I don't go to sleep. Like, I don't have a regular bedtime. I wish I did, but I don't. And I mess myself up every night, and knowing I got to be to work at 7:30 in the morning. But I usually don't go to bed till like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And with a sleep study, they was like, you need to go to bed. So what I did was, before I got to the sleep center, I actually got there pretty early, which was a good thing. I think I had to be there about like 9, I want to say 8 or 9 p.m. And when I actually got into the parking lot and actually parked or whatever, I actually had some Robitussin. It was one of the nighttime Robitussin, so I drank some of that. And by the time I got in there and they got me hooked up and they got me, admitted and everything and got it to the room, by the time I laid down, I was out. Took me probably like maybe 20 minutes to actually get comfortable. And after I got comfortable, I just went on ahead and went to sleep. And the crazy part about it is that they wake you up. I was like, this is supposed to be a sleep center. Why is you waking me up? So apparently they said like every 45 minutes to maybe an hour, I would stop breathing. And I got to looking, and I was like, hell, I would too if y'all. I got all this stuff on me. Like, I had wires in my head, I had wires on my body, my stomach, my arms, my legs, and I couldn't get to my comfortable spot. I sleep on my stomach, and at that point I had to sleep on my back and my side, and I was like, this is not fun. Like, at the time I had an afro for my first sleep study, and I wish I would have just went on ahead and just braided my hair down, but I didn't know. I didn't do my research. But it was the first time it was okay. It just, I hated the fact of them waking me up. I'm like, if I stop breathing and start back breathing, don't wake me up. Just keep monitoring whatever I'm doing. So yeah, and then on top of that, they came in sometime because I had unhooked one of the things, and I was like, oh my gosh, when this is gonna be over with. 8 o'clock me fast, but I think they let me go at probably like 6 something, close to 7. So they let me go pretty early, which I was happy because I was like, shoot, get me up out of here. Let me go get in my bed and sleep the way I want to sleep. So they told me I had sleep apnea. And I was like, that's a lie. Now, I know I'm not in the medical field, and I know that I'm just saying this just to say it. But I'm like, I don't have no sleep apnea. Because if I did, I wouldn't be getting such great sleep in my bed. Like, I don't have no point of me waking up in the night because I stopped breathing. None of that. I sleep through the whole night, no issue. Yeah, I snore, but didn't have any issue. So the second time, I actually had to go back in to the sleep study space, and that was because they wanted to put me on a CPAP machine. The dreaded CPAP machine. Now, I told you I hated it the first time. When I had to do it with the CPAP, I hated it even more. Okay, my second sleep study, I had to go back for a second sleep study. And within that second sleep study, I had to wear a CPAP. Now me, I sleep with my mouth open. And sometimes I breathe out my nose, but majority of the time I sleep with my mouth open. And of course, I should have just said I breathe through my nose, but eventually they was gonna figure that out through the middle of the night anyway. So I went ahead and told them that, hey, yeah, I sleep with my mouth open sometimes. And so if you're a person that sleep with your mouth open, they're not gonna give you the one that just go for your nose. They actually, if you are a person that sleep with your mouth open at nighttime, they're not gonna give you the one that just goes over your nose. They're gonna give you the one that goes over your nose and your mouth, because they want the constant airflow to constantly go into either area, whether you stop breathing with your mouth and just use your nose, or whether you stop breathing with your nose and use your mouth. So imagine you got something this big covering your face, and then also it's like a helmet. Well, it's not really a helmet, but it got straps across the top or whatever, and you got some on the side. It depends on which style you use, but typically in the sleep center they just give you the one that goes over your head. And once you actually get your CPAP, they give you a choice of which one you want. So yeah, during the CPAP study, now that was very hard, because you got to think about it. It's constant air going into your nose and your mouth, and it got to the point for me that I kept waking myself up, and I was also coughing because it dried out my throat. So the whole time I wake up and I get to coughing. And then I told the lady, I was like, I need some water. Like, this thing is drying out my throat, it's drying out my nose, everything. And she was like, oh, we have a humidifier on it, the one that you're actually gonna get. It will also with the CPAP, if you have a humidifier on it, you can only use distilled water. So yeah. So I instantly hated the CPAP because of the fact that it dried my throat and my nose out, and it was so bulky. Like, I really, just imagine you being hooked up to all these wires and you got a thing over your face. It was too much. I was happy to get out the first sleep study. This second one with the CPAP, I would have paid that woman $1,000. I would have paid her big money to get me up out of this thing. Like, do me like 3 hours. And I don't think it didn't last. It probably lasted a little bit longer, because the first sleep study, I got out of there before daylight came. The second one, I didn't get out until it was daylight. Like, it wasn't full day. It was the dust, whatever you want to call it. Well, that's the wrong one. That's whatever it is. But when it was just getting daylight. So, yeah, be ready for that, because that process, it was tough. So they want you to bring in a letter when you go to your first appointment for your bariatric counseling, your first bariatric doctor appointment. They want you to bring in, of course, insurance. What else did they ask me? I think it was just insurance and a letter. And insurance, letter, the referral stuff was already sent out. So I think it was just the insurance and the letter that they wanted me to bring before we to the session. So this letter is basically like a letter to the insurance, your insurance company. So basically, the letter would probably consist of, or they will tell you what to write, but mine consists of that, letting them know that, hey, I want to get bariatric surgery, gave them my height, how much I weighed at the current time, and like just a backstory. I put in that I've been obese literally all my life. I've been a heavy set person all my life. Anybody that knows me know that I've been the fat little chubby little cute girl all my life. And basically, so I put that in, and then I told them about, like, lately, like in the past few years, I've been experiencing pre-hypertension, cholesterol issues, diabetes issues, and just a toll on my body. So yeah, that's pretty much. And then, like, the negatives of being obese and stuff like that. So this is my letter. trying to cover up my address. But this is my letter. And also they want you to write out, they also want you to put in like every diet you tried, in which I put that on the back. Like I had tried a lot of diets, and some worked, some didn't, some just like a waste of my damn time. But they wanted you to try it, you know, just to remember all the diets that you did. They wanted you to put out how many times you tried it, which I really pulled this up on the internet, like just a format of how they wanted it. So I put in the type of weight loss program that I tried, or whether it was just, you know, just going to the gym or either getting a personal trainer. I had to put how many times I did that certain program, weight loss program, whatever you want to call it, how long did I do it, and what was the dates, and like what was the results of how much did you lose. That's what they want you to explain yourself, and then also tell what you did. So yeah, that was pretty much everything I had to do before I actually got approved. So in February of 2022, I actually got a call from my bariatric surgery bariatric coordinator, and she was like, "Hey Rose," she was like, "you have been approved for your surgery." The insurance to approve it. I was so happy. And they gave me the surgery date of April 4th of 2022. So my surgery date was April 4th of 2022. And I was like, that's a pretty good date. So as of right now, that's the end of this video. And make sure you come back and check out more of my videos, because I will be posting them weekly. I might post another one this week, but thank you so much for coming, and remember that I will answer any of your questions. Also remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me on the other social media platforms, because I would do my best to answer any questions that you have. But make sure, you know, follow me for more, and thank you very much. Bye.